Hey, what's up everybody, welcome back to another video. I've been pretty fucking sick this week, so I haven't done much on the cars for the week. It's currently Saturday now. I don't know when you'll be seeing this video, but yeah, I'm out here in the weekend anyway, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I couldn't get out during the week at all. I was just bloody crook, so still a bit crook now, so I'm not going to be overdoing it too much with anything extreme. I think I'm just going to be doing some little bits and bobs on the cars. So yeah, that's how, how that's going to go. Just for this morning though, I've got a radiator pipe, or some radiator pipes for the electric water pump to feed into here. Being like a custom setup, I just had to go on the website and just look up like something that looked close that was going to work. I kind of had an idea in my head about how I wanted this to come out of here and into the pump and then whatnot, so I just looked through the catalogue until I found something, and I found these off a JZ C33 Supra. So they're the same ID pipes as like these, the 35mm ID, so they fit up good. This one fits over the water pump suite, but the outlet of the water pump here, it's a bit tight to go over this part, so we've got an ORB 16 thread in here, so much like this fitting here, I'll just probably buy another ORB 16 to 35mm hose tail adapter to screw into the end of that, and then just put the hose on that instead, because I think I need a little bit of extra length too after this hose has been cut up. So yeah, this one hose fit up worked out pretty good, so it'll go on bottom radiator hose like that to push on, and then pretty much I'll trim that one a little bit once the other pipe's on there. Actually, let me get that on there a decent amount so you can actually see it sitting there. There we go. So that one's sitting on there like that. Once it's got a pipe on it, yada yada, it'll line up pretty good, something like that. So yeah, I'll build a bracket off the frame here to this, so it'll just be like a piece of angle plate, and then I'll just, like, you know, the cotton reel mounts, I'm thinking I'll put some threads or some rib nuts in the chassis rail there, and we'll just like thread some cotton reel mounts into it, and then make the bracket mount off those just so it's rubber, so it can move around, because the motor's obviously going to tilt a little bit, and need to kind of move a little bit, and you're not meant to mount those water pumps solid to anything anyway, because they suffer from the vibrations. So yeah, so hopefully there'll be enough movement in the hoses and that bracket, and when the motor twists a little bit to, you know, give it some leeway. So yeah, I'm going to get this roughly set up and maybe build a bracket today. I've got this that I started making for the top here. So this is just a piece of 35mm pipe. I just put a flare on the end of it and just hole sawed through the side of it to get the shape of this. That's 3-inch, so I pretty much just put a 3-inch hole saw through the side of it, so that when it's like butted up to the edge of it, it's like pretty good. So I've got the hole in there. I just have to do some trimming to get it angled right, because the height of it is slightly off towards the top of the radiator there, so just have to trim the bottom of it about to give it a little bit of a kick down, and then find another radiator hose for that, I suppose. You buy those, bought that one as a set, obviously top and bottom, but the top hose is a smaller diameter, which I didn't know, so I think this one's like 32mm. Come in handy for something else, but yeah, I'll have to find another. It's just a straight pipe or something with a bit of a kink in it maybe. I'm probably not fond of running just a straight pipe like that and then having a straight. I'd like some sort of like curve or something in it, just for, like I was saying earlier, when the motor tilts, if you just got a straight pipe that's quite tight, once it tilts away or turns, it'll like kink it or like try to pull it away, so we have to have some sort of bend in it so that when it does kink, it's got a little bit of give to it. So yeah, I was going to get this trimmed up, fitting on there nicely, and eyeball a mount for that, I suppose. I don't have a fitting yet, so I've only just decided to do this today, so I don't have thought of what I was going to do, but I got a fitting for that, and I better probably build it without the fitting on it, so it'll work out alright. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be cracking on with at the moment. Also the exhaust, carry on with the exhaust that I showed you at the end of the last video for this thing. I think you guys said I got this far, so yeah, gonna put a mount on it and tuck it up tight. So then I got it where I want it to sit. I'll put a rubber mount and make the mount off the gearbox so it can hold it, and then I can carry on with the rest of it. So it's basically just going to get this extra 45 on the top there to kick it up into the drive shaft tunnel, and then put that big straight angle towards the back there. Nice and simple. So yeah, I will make a start for today. Hopefully we get some stuff done. I got the top port for the spill pot welded on there. This thing as well, it needs temp sensors in it, so it needs 3 sensors. It needs the engine coolant temperature sensor for the ECU to read. It'll need a regular temp sensor for the gauge to read, so you can see the gauge, and then the water pump has its own sensor as well, so the water pump can vary the water pump speed depending on your temperatures. So what I'm going to do for it is this is the sensor for the water pump that come with the kit. Just going to put them all on the bottom of the swill pot, so the swill pot obviously sits like that, so to hide them away and make it look tidy for the wiring, I suppose. I'm just going to stack all 3 sensors in the bottom of the pot there. I'll have to find out what the sensor threads are. That one's a 1/4 MPT. I think a standard Toyota engine coolant temp sensor is 14 by 1.5 possibly, but I don't know the actual temp sensor, so I'm going to get the sensors and then get some welding fittings for them to thread into in the bottom there. So yeah, because the other option was me to make a thing that sits on the bottom there, like an extra plate to weld on, then just me tap the threads, but to save me getting all those different size taps, because I think there'll be 3 different ones, it's probably just easier to buy some female bungs. They're like fucking $5 or something, so I'm just going to do that instead. So I'm going to have to make a list of some stuff to get. Yeah, but anyway, I may go bolt this up, make sure that fittings looks okay, and then I have to put the bleed fitting in the top of it. I'm going to try to come out the top as close as possible. It's just going to be AN4, I think, AN4. But see how it's got like the big base on it? It looks ugly. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I've got some of this smaller pipe here, this alley. Might try to build like a little thing off the side of it somehow and then weld that to it, just so it doesn't look so shit. But yeah, I'll come up with something so it doesn't look fucking ugly. That bleed will be the top bleeder that goes into the expansion tank up there. Bleed all the air out of this. So yeah, if I started something bleeder, it's going to come out here. Then I'll weld it to this pipe first and then trim the pipe up to shape like the curve here, I suppose, so it comes out near the top or something like that anyway. But this stuff here, this is going to be really quite annoying to weld, I believe. Quite a thin wall pipe and it's a small fitting, so yeah, we're going to see how we go on that. I'm going to have to turn the welder down to fucking nothing pretty much, and hopefully it doesn't turn to shit. But the good thing is I got a meter of pipe to make fuck ups, so we'll see how it goes. Well, that was very slow going because I couldn't put too much heat into it, but I managed to get it welded on there. She ain't the prettiest, but I find it quite hard to weld small shit like that on low heat, like, and have nice beads and stuff, so should be right for now. So I'll trim that to like sort of the shape of the top of this, like how it's got that dome cap on the top. We'll sort of trim it to that shape and put it right at the top there, so it's got the, so it's pulling the highest point, air out of the highest point there. I wanted to put it in the center, but the height at this sits and the height of the tank, like, it's very hard to make it. That tank is only slightly higher than this, and with the fitting in it, like I think I said earlier, like the top of the 90 of the fitting would be the highest point, I think it would get air trapped in there. I didn't really want to risk that, so was pull it out of the side there. So then the expansion tank's definitely going to be the highest point, so it can bleed over to it. The hose is probably going to look pretty ugly where it runs, so I'm going to try. So I'm going to try put it out the side with this one, so then the AN, well, like the hose, sorry, can run like parallel with the top hose of the radiator, and then sort of come over and follow some lines and stuff, just so it looks like it's tucked away and runs at a nice angle rather than just like looping over that, because that is too high to loop over and air would get trapped in the top there, so it kind of has to come down here and around there, and I don't want it to go under the pipe either, because then I would get it to get trapped in the bottom as well. So yeah, it should look okay though. We'll run it and just see what it looks like. Is pretty much the gist of how you build most of this shit. So yeah, I had to stop yesterday because I had fucking something to do, but back out next day, carrying on with this swill pot. This is the fitting for the top. I've just hole sawed through the side of it to give it the radius of like the top of the thing, so now it's going to sit like over here, just parallel with the other hose, but just up a bit higher. So I'll weld that in, and then probably weld it in first and then put the drill through the center, like drill bit through the center of it, just because I don't want it to be fucking, oh, maybe I could drill a hole first. Well, I don't really want to mis-drill it or anything. It'd be easier if it's there and then I put the drill through it, possibly. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Nah, I thought about it. I'm going to drill the hole first. I sort of just put it on there and looked through it, marked it, because I'm liable to put the drill bit through that, and it's going to go through on an angle and then bite and then break off, and then I know how that goes, so we'll drill the hole first. Alright, this section of the video is going to be weird because I completely forgot to show you guys the finished product of the swill pot before I made the next clip. So this is how the swill pot turned out after I've made it. Got the fitting on, just run the line along the top here to the tank, and I also got one of the fittings welded on. Got to wait for the other one to turn up, but yeah, it turned out good. So that's it for the swill pot. Anyway, the next clip will be the exhaust. So the next clip will be starting the exhaust, even though I'm recording this after I built the exhaust, so the exhaust is done now. But yeah, I fucked up some of the recording. So anyway, next clip. It's been a bit slow going out here, sorry guys, but I'm back out to finish off the exhaust. I've done this just before. Got that far. It's hanging in the back there because it's got no hanger there, so it's going to be tucked up a little higher. I've just put this bit in here, as you can see, just to step it up a little bit out of the way, just to follow up into the contour there. So yeah, I'm going to pull it back off. I've got that tack where I want to, and I'll pull it back off, finish welding those two parts. So then it's, because once you weld it, once I finish welding that whole first section, it sort of sat slightly different to how I had tacked it all together, just because of the heat, and the stainless sort of warps it a little bit. So I'll finish welding that section up, put it back on, weld the hanger on, and then have it sitting where I want it to sit. And then I can weld a another flange at the end of that, the end of that straight 4-inch there, and then we'll make the rear section for it. So coming together pretty nicely. I finally put the TIG on the ground too, so I can reach it over there and tack it all on the car, because it was a pain to mark it and pull it off, and yeah. So yeah, I'll rip that off, weld it up. Here's a better view of it anyway. Quite simple really. Simple setup. I always forget how long it takes to weld around a 4-inch pipe. Fuck, you feel like you're almost there and then there's another half to go. Slowly getting there. It's not the best tonight. I'm quite shaky for some reason. Coming down off meth. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, not too bad. So she's all welded up. My welder's, I think I need to pull my welder apart and clean out the dial, because if you adjust the current, see it doesn't go, well it is now while I'm showing you, but it's like there's some shit in behind the resist, like because it'd be a variable resistor dial, it's like there's some shit in there and it's fucking up how much it's letting through, so the current's been all over the place. So I've been having a mare trying to weld this, but I mean, like, they came out
average, and then there's like shit ones up on the V-band, and then I managed to do like some mean as ones around the bellows. So yeah, it was all over the place. I'll put this up on the car in place, and I'll probably come back out tomorrow, clean the fucking welder out, and have dinner and shit. So so I'm not so fucking shaky and fucking in a rush to do shit and fucking yada yada. So yeah, I'll just bolt this up real quick, probably size up where everything's gonna sit, and then yeah, come back out and crack onto it tomorrow. Alright, this is our length. This probably ends like that much before the diff flange, around about here. So what I'm gonna do is another V-band, the back there, gonna tack it on for now, and then off the V-band I've just got this one that I'm gonna come straight off. So I've got a little kick on it like that. It'll make sense when I tack it on and show you under the car, but that part there, when it comes through, it's going to tuck nicely up into that little hump that's in the rear sway bar. But to get it real tight up in the floor and under the sway bar, it has to duck, like it can't just go straight through that and then past the diff, like it has to duck under the diff. So what I'm going to do is we'll have that come straight out, and then this little angle here is just going to duck under the axle flange, sorry, on the left hand side there. So it's going to come straight through it and then sort of duck under it and then out the back, and then we have a little dumpy on the back. So I'll show you when I'm under there and I've got it all tacked, so it makes a bit more sense. So as you can see, that's where our pipe angles through this archway here. But as it's going to come through, it's going to interfere with the flange of the diff there, the axle flange. So that's why I'm going to try to kick the pipe through here and then under this flange. So this is it bolted on, so it gets quite close to the, well, don't get quite close, but once it's jacked right up. So it's going to come down a little bit and clear under the subframe, just a little loop, and then back up into here and at the back here. I need a big fucking light. I don't know if this is gonna, how this looks, but yeah. Alright, I got that piece tacked on, so we come up through there, we angle down and clear the diff, and then we're gonna just angle off the back here and then go straight out the back of the car. So it should be pretty, how do I do this? Like this? So I should be able to get like just a little angle that I've already cut from something else and sort of maybe trim a bit more, so it's like that, and then just drive it straight back. That way it clears under the subframe and it still has some clearance on the ground as well. So yeah, I'll get that long piece that I had before and probably dummy it up in the back here, out the back of the car, and see what sort of trimming I need to do on that angle there to get it straight out. Alright, what I've done here is this long piece that's going to go out the back here. I've just welded the angle on the end of it so I can sort of position it where I want to sit out the back. You probably can't see that, but and then I'll just mark around the pipe how much, because it's going to have a gap that side. So I'm just going to mark around the pipe so I can get it cut so it like mates up square, and we want it to sit at the back of the car here. Probably can't see that, can you see me? Alright, this is out of the car anyway. I've given it a tack up. It's probably easy to visualise it when you can probably see it a bit better out on the floor here. But as you can see down it, we're sort of, this little bend here anyway is our little divergence under the bloody diff and the rear subframe and stuff. Kind of angled like, I don't know, like that or something. I think works out nice on the car. I don't know how I'm going to get a good shot of this under the car. I might, well, yeah, I'll put it all together actually, and then when it's sunny, hopefully tomorrow, because it's quite night time at the moment, I'll get the door open so then got some nice light, natural light come through, and then I'll show you a full run of it under the car so you can visualize it and see it better, see how it turned out. But anyway, I'll carry on and we'll go fit this up
and then weld we'll tack a dumpy on the end of it here so it angles down, so it keeps the noise down enough-ish, I suppose. 4-inch exhaust straight through are quite rowdy. If you heard mine's quite rowdy, so it helps if you can angle the sound waves at the ground, so instead of coming out to the open and fucking spreading out in all directions, it sort of, you know, hits the ground first, and sort of the ground absorbs some of the noise, so hopefully it can sound a little bit like more deeper, I suppose. Mine's quite like cackly and rowdy. It kind of needs a muffler, so I don't know how this one's going to sound, but hopefully angling it at the ground takes a lot of the fucking like hectic fucking noise out of it. But we'll have to see once it's all going and stuff, so that might be a little while away. So yeah, enough rambling. I will go fit this up and probably weld it up if it's good, and then make a there's a standard hanger on the back hanging from where the standard exhaust goes, so I'll probably use that or utilise that, and I'll just put a little I've got some stainless rod here like what I made on the first half of it to hang on the back, and once I've got that one on and hanging, I might do a third one somewhere around the diff, or like where the V-band is, around that area. I kind of wanted to have 2 on each section, so there was 2 on the rear section and then 2 on the middle section, so when you unbolt the rear section, the centre bit's still like secure and hanging. Not that you'd run it without it, but it's just annoying if you try and do a gearbox or a diff and you've got the exhaust sort of fucking hanging around doing stuff. It's nice if it's sitting where it wants to, where it's always sitting. But yeah, decide that when I get it on there, where we need to mount some rod and shit. Alright, I got this bolted up. I've got it propped right up hard into everything on the jack, and I've just put a bar off the factory pickup there for a hanger to go over. So like I said earlier, I think earlier in the video, you prop the exhaust. I like to prop the exhaust right up into everything, make the hangers the mounts, and then when the weight of the exhaust comes on the rubbers, it sort of stretches them down, and then you got your little bit of clearance there. Right. So and this is now daylight, as you can see. I finished up. Oi, Toby, come in here. I ended up finishing welding up the rest of that last section and put a hanger on the back and bolted up. So now that it's sunlight, I can show you how it turned out. My dog just pissed on the ground there. Gross cunt. So we've got some decent clearance through there. You could probably come up a little bit higher. Might be able to tweak the mount a little bit just to get it a little bit up into that gap a bit more. The only problem is this little fin on the edge of the diff here. If you have it go sideways, you can get it like that. So you might have to, I think it's pretty tight if I add another hanger. I haven't added, well, I might add the third hanger in between this somewhere at some point, but for now she's pretty well, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. She's pretty well looking sweet. I'm gonna get it off those jack stands and gonna get off the jack stands and see what the ground clearance is like. So this is it from the side here. So we got a little kick there, straight back. So, oh, my bad. Looks like it turned out alright. Let's get off the stands and see how high it is. I'll show you. Well, we'll see what it looks like off the ground. Once it's on the ground. Alright, we'll get on the ground, and this is our clearance. Probably the lowest point is probably there, which is about 3 of my fingers. The back looks like it's pretty good clearance wise. So it looks to be like 100 mil or so. Just this section here is quite low. I think it sagged a little bit when I did the back one, so I think it can come up ever so slightly. I guess we'll have to see how that goes height wise. See if I think he's going to raise this car a little bit, so that might help with a little bit of extra clearance. But yeah, it's really hard to get the ground clearance on a 4-inch exhaust, especially when you've got no cavity for the exhaust to sit in. So what's that? Yeah, we'll see what he wants to do with height, and then probably check it again, and it should be okay for a track car. Road car probably would clip stuff, but being a race car, you know, tracks are pretty pretty nice and level. Don't really get much exhaust scraping on the track, so yeah, not too bad. Turned out alright. We'll have a look at the back. Toby, can you move please? Thank you. Yeah, we've got plenty at the back here. Dumpy there. Sweet. Alright, that's that done pretty much. I'll probably think about adding another hanger or so in the middle there just to support that centre a bit more. Hopefully pick it up a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much the exhaust done, I suppose. So I guess we're finished with the exhaust and probably done with the video. This video is probably primarily just going to be on doing the exhaust for it. I don't really want to clutter up the videos too much with heaps of random odd jobs, unless you guys don't care about that. It's just hard to title them with like all the little jobs, because you know, if someone sees exhaust on Laurel video and they're like, oh sweet, and I watch a video on the exhaust being done, and then there's like random clips of me doing like maybe the Skyline or something in there. So yeah, unless you guys don't care about that, that's fucking, then just fucking I'll carry on doing that. But we'll try to keep them as like topic orientated as possible, I suppose. I don't even know if that's the right terminology or word. But yeah, but for now I'll just catch you up on some other shit that actually before I fucking end the video. This is the water pump sensor, temperature sensor. So the water pump controller reads off this sensor and not your engine coolant temperature sensor. So this one comes with the pump. So I've just got the fitting here. I'm just gonna knock it in the bottom there, and then there's gonna be another one next to it. For some reason I thought I needed 3 sensors, one for a temp gauge, but this is obviously doesn't have a factory temp gauge because it's got an LED dash and it's gonna have a display and shit. So the temp can run off the engine coolant temperature sensor that the ECU would see and relay that to the dash. So we only need the 2 sensors, one for the water pump, one for the I think it's gonna run a max ECU or something like that. So one for that to see. I just got a new Bosch 2-wire sensor for that. There's no point no point running the factory or trying to locate the factory Toyota one when it's like 20 years old, when you can just buy a brand new Bosch one for like 40 bucks. So they the guys I bought it off didn't send it. They sent me this one and some other stuff, but they forgot to send the sensor and the fitting. So I have to get hold of them and make sure they send that out next week. But yeah, this is going to be a quick fucking take the squeal pot off, grab 2 fittings and whack the sensors in. It's not going to be too much of a fucking video. I'll show you when it's done anyway, probably at some point. I'll get some more of these dome caps here to make another overflow pot for the back there, just for the radiator cap to like bleed into, in and out of. So a couple small little jobs, nothing too major for this. And what else do I have to get for it? Oh, I'll have to get a belt and like an offset tensioner that I'll thread into the bracket that we made down there, just to tighten the belt. And that should be pretty much this done, really. Oh, I gotta make the battery mount, sorry, so not really done, but just small little odd jobs. All the main shit's done now, so that's good. Yeah, that's gonna be about it. I think I'll do one more video on this, maybe 1 or 2. It should be bloody completed, which should be nice. Been a little bit long time coming. I've been fucking around. My fault. But yeah, I'll carry on doing some stuff on the Skyline too, but that'll just be another video, in the next video I suppose. But for now, we'll just call it there. Thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one. I don't know what the next one's going to be yet, but it'll just be something. So yeah, cheers for watching guys. Like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to comment, but just like the video. Get me boosted up to the fucking top page. Yeah, but anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.